Hello and welcome to Sports This Morning. I'm Cecilia Omogbe.
And I am Tayo Salam. Many thanks for joining us again.
On the program this morning, we're starting with this one coming from Super Eagles coach Gernot Rohr. He says, well, the team, he has admitted right now they are actually under pressure to beat Cape Verde and qualify for the final phase of the World Cup qualifiers.
Indeed, Eagles will be taking on Cape Verde in the final Group C game tomorrow. And a draw, actually, will be good enough to see Nigeria qualify for the final round of the qualifiers. Also on the program, after 7-8 days of action, we have a Nigerian chess champions that they emerged on Sunday at the Lekki Orchid Chess Club. We'll be revealing names of the winners to you in the course of the program.
And of course, we'll go to basketball, where there's a lot of drama currently going on right there because the Nigeria Basketball Federation says that all the teams that are taking part in the final 8, that is the Federal Ministry of Youth and Sports Men's Premium Basketball League, should not bank on this qualifier to take them to the Basketball Africa League.
Wow.
Simply because they reserve the right to FIBA and NBA BAL for all Nigerian clubs.
In summary, Nigeria Basketball Federation are rejecting the final 8 currently going on in Abuja, of course, being organized by the Ministry of Sports, Youth and Sports Development. Safe to say, the drama, the crisis, and the basketball family is deepening, and there's no end in sight of that particular situation. We'll go back to that story later on the show. But before then, actually, we just carry on from there. Cecilia.
So before we talk about the little bit of the drama, but let's focus on what is happening right there in Abuja. Of course, we have the semi-finalists and also go through all the games that went down from Friday to Sunday. And that's the reason you have the likes of Rivers Hoopers and also Gombe Bulls, Pillars, and Customs. They are in the last 4. Now, let's take a look at results from the Nigeria Basketball League that's currently going on in Abuja. That's the final 8. Remember, NBBF started it, but somehow, because of the whole crisis and everything, the players were still waiting for. But then when it started, there was a release from Ministry stating this is NBBF final 8. But right now, we have a name of Federal Ministry of Youth and Sport Development, Final 8 taking place in Abuja. Day 1, you have Coral Falcons and Customs, Gombe Bulls and Police Basin, and Rivers Hoopers and Benue Braves. Of course, the result right there with Rivers Hoopers winning the first game, Gombe Bulls also winning by a huge margin, and Coral Falcons losing to Customs 76-73. In day 2, you have 80-40. That's between Gombe Bulls and Benue Braves. They won that. Police Baton and Rivers Hoopers 64-48, and Nigeria Customs and Pillars was 83-68. That's day 2. And in day 3, Pillars and Coral Falcons, Pillars also winning. Benue Braves and Police Baton beating Benue Braves by just 2 points. And Rivers Hoopers and Gombe Bulls, that ended 69-61. That's the only close games, the only close game Rivers Hoopers had. And now let's take a look at the semi-final fixtures. What it's looking like. Rivers Hoopers will be hosting Nigeria Customs today, starting from 3 p.m. And the final game of today will be Pillars and Gombe Bulls. That game will be by 5 p.m. right there in Abuja.
No surprises in terms of the semi-finalists. The last 4, Rivers Hoopers, Customs, Pillars, and Gombe Bulls pretty much are the best teams when it comes to basketball in the country. But the subplot to that now is the statements coming from the Nigeria Basketball Federation that this particular competition will not be recognized officially. What it means is any competition that has to do with basketball on the continent, these teams, regardless of the outcome or the results, will not be recognized by the NBBF. And we're going to take a statement coming from the former president of the NBBF, talking about the situation, making it very, very clear for everyone to see. We are not stopping any team from participating in any competitions anywhere across the country. We have always desired more games for our players, and we encourage them to take advantage of any competition to get ready for the final 8. No nomination, whether at the club or national team level, will be honored except it comes from the duly recognized Nigeria Basketball Federation board until such time that a constitutionally binding election will be held. So that's the message coming from the Basketball Federation, or the former president of the Basketball Federation, Cecilia. So what this means is there is a serious crisis. We've got serious crisis on our hands when it comes to basketball, and there is no end in sight. And because it's clear that everyone has chosen their different weapons of battle, and they're ready to go to war.
Yeah, you remember over the weekend where we have a statement coming from a FIBA saying that, look, they don't understand, they would not accept interference from the ministry. And NOC had another letter stating that, look, the reason why ministry is on it is simply because, yes, the tenure has ended, and of course there's no election yet. And so they're hoping that the elections will they'll have a Congress before November 30th, and then they decide date for the elections. And after that, then maybe the NBBF can start organizing competitions. But the thing is, whatever is happening right now, with the Nigerian Olympic Committee, with the Federal Ministry of Youth and Sports, and of course with the FIBA, it boils down to those who are actually suffering are the players. That's why when this tournament came on, we were happy about, okay, Final 8 is finally here. And then the news coming from NBBF saying, look, if you're taking part, well, fine, we accept you can play. I mean, that will also prepare you for another Final 8. What is looking like right now is the fact that if this Final 8 is over, whether Rivers Hoopers or Kano Pillars are winning, they may not be representing Nigeria on the continent simply because NBBF says, oh, they are the one that reserves the right to do that. Ministry don't have the right to do that. So they intend to organize another one. But so the questions we're asking is, when would they really want to do the Congress before the 30th of this month that FIBA has given them? Are they ready for the elections? Are they ready to, you know, put down whatever the selfish interests they all have and come up with an election so that the players can play, because that's what is important right now. If you have all other countries preparing for tournaments and Nigeria, they're thinking, are we going or we're not going? So the players are definitely the ones that are suffering. So, Tayo, for me, I feel that if they're really ready to run the Basketball Federation so well, and the ministry also, they are transparent, NOC transparent, everyone coming together, I think they can resolve this, because I don't think this is an issue, except everybody just want to be, you know, selfish.
What more can I say? Other than Austin is going to be joining us as well too very soon. Austin, when you're ready, we'll go to you straight away. Austin, good morning. You're welcome to Sport this morning, and it's a shame we're welcoming you on the show with this drama again.
Sporty greetings, Tayo and Cecilia. It's good to be on the show. It's more than a shame. It's embarrassing. It's disgraceful. Distasteful. You know, guys, remember when I spoke to you on, I think it was during the Olympics, when I said, these guys just don't care, you know, because at the end of the day, it's not their career, it is the athletes that will suffer, you know. It's just a story of greed and excess, of people being selfish and, you know, putting themselves before the game. And it's just so heartbreaking, because each time I look at what we've done with basketball in the last 5 to 7 years, and now this is happening, it just tells you that we're not thinking development. Tells you we're not thinking about progression. And we're tired of saying this is such a shame, Tayo and Cecilia. FIBA has come out straight, say, you know the status, you know our internal regulations. We didn't force you to be a member, so you should, you know, do the right things. The Ministry of Youth and Sports Development, you know, they have a role to play also, and they're just trying to play that role. FIBA sees it as interference. Two different bodies trying to play their role. But what is the role of the NBBF? This is a crisis that's been going on since 2016. Why can't persons come together and say, for the love of the game, can we just let reason to prevail? Can we come together and, you know, make sure that we destroy whatsoever beef we've got going on and put the game first and consider athletes? Look at what our women's basketball team they've done. How can they even prepare for the qualifiers in this state, Tayo and Cecilia?
No,
it's so heartbreaking this one, because when players reach out to me and talk about this thing, sometimes I get so emotional I want to even cry on their behalf. Why is administration such a problem with sports in Nigeria? You know, Morocco is on standby for the qualifiers, for instance, just in case they decide to still say, oh, they are holding on to their ego and keep destroying the game. Countries that are ready to empower their youth to do well with their sports, they are standing by, they're doing well. They don't have the sort of talent that we have in Nigeria, but they have other things working for them. And we can see it at every level with sports in Africa. Countries are catching up. And they're not just catching up because they have better talents or human resources than Nigeria. It's because they have better leadership, better administration, better management. So I'm getting tired of telling them to wake up. Now it is, if you know you have nothing to do with sports development in Nigeria, please, I want to use the best language. Can you just get out so we know what we're doing?
Indeed.
I think that is it.
Yeah.
You know, the fear right now, Austin, is the fact that the World Cup qualifiers for 2023 is starting November 26th, right? Angola is hosting already. Nigeria is in Group A. So Nigeria obviously is starting on the 26th. And what's today's date is 15th. And we don't have a team yet. Remember what happened in AfroBasket? I mean, if you look at the teams we have Cape Verde, you have Mali, you have Uganda. In Nigeria group. As you mentioned, Morocco is standing by. So if the NBBF and Sports Ministry and, of course, the NOC, because the three of them are involved in this one, if they don't want to come to the table and do what is right, it simply means Morocco will just take Nigeria's place because 26th is not far. This is 15th. And so you're looking at how many days from now? 11 days from now. And then you don't have a team. You don't even know if you're going to have your so-called Congress or anything else. Well, I don't know what's going to happen. I think, as you mentioned, the players obviously will be the one that will suffer because those who are running the game, apparently, they really don't care.
And Cecilia, just try to understand, and it's so difficult, that a team that's got a women's basketball team that achieved the 3-peats back to back to back. This is the same country that is going through this sort of mess as regards development, as regards advancements, to make progress, to sustain the momentum. Let's call out people this morning, guys, because we are the media, we're the watchdog to the society, and we want to ensure that the right things are done. Mr. Sunday Dare is the Honorable Minister of Youth and Sports Development. He needs to take leadership. They've been trying to do that, but some persons are not listening. Let's call out the former president, Musa Kida. Let's call out Umar, the former Tijani Umar. Let's call out Olumide Oyedeji. Call out everybody, Babs Okunade, everybody that is associated with basketball development and management in Nigeria. Can we come together and let reason prevail? Can we think about Adora Eleno? Can we think about Sarah Oguke? Think about Promise Amuakura? Can we think about Ifi Bekwe? Can we think about those ladies that have done so well for the country and they have a career and they have colleagues who are laughing at them right now? Can we just hold on to something that will say, let's protect our national pride and heritage? Can we do something that will make that youth that has talent not to start thinking of going to Qatar tomorrow to get another citizenship because the people who administer sports in their country are not doing the right things? It's so painful, it's heartbreaking, but we can make this work. We can stop this fight. It is taking us nowhere but backwards. Can we just come together and say, no more? Let us put athletes first, let's put development in front and start winning again. I said this last week, I'm saying it again. So it means we keep talking about this as the media, we're doing our part, and some persons are not just listening, but it's time for everybody to come together now and say, this must stop.
It has to stop, Austin. There's no two ways about it. Cecilia, we could go on and on about this unfortunate situation, but we got to move on now. Of course, I will still continue to monitor the developments and situation, and we'll be giving you updates on it. Hopefully, all of the situation, all of the issues can be resolved so the basketball players can get to play and enjoy what they love doing. Best, let's go on to the NBA now, where there is no drama off the court. There's a lot of drama on the court, you know, buzzer beaters, crossovers, last-minute winners, and stuff like that. But let's take a look at the results of the games that were played this morning before we focus on our feature matchup. The Spurs and the Lakers were in action. It was LA winning 114-106. Anthony Davis with 34 points and 15 rebounds in that game. The Bucks lost again. This time around it was against the Atlanta Hawks, 120-100. Trae Young with a season-best 42 points in that particular game. The Warriors, surprisingly, were beaten by the Charlotte Hornets, 106-102. 7-game winning streak ended.
All over. Best record in the NBA, 11-1, also over.
All right, the Suns and the Rockets ended 115-89 in favor of Phoenix. Devin Booker, 26 points and 6 assists. Phoenix have now won 8 straight games, while the Houston Rockets have lost 11 in a row. Another tough season for Houston. The Nets and the Thunder ended 120-96. Kevin Durant going back to OKC to score 33 points in that victory for Brooklyn. Elsewhere, the Blazers' tough season continues. They lost against the Denver Nuggets, where Nikola Jokic just missed out on his third straight triple-double, finishing with 28 points, 9 rebounds, and 9 assists in that particular game. Last but not the least is the Bulls, continuing their impressive start to the season with a 100-90 victory over the LA Clippers. The Clippers' win streak also ends at 7. All right, Cecilia, let's focus on the Bulls quickly.
Yeah, DeMar DeRozan, of course. You say, he's maintaining that MVP caliber of kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, another big point for him on the night, 35 points, and Zach LaVine also added 29 points, and that's how the Clippers were able to. The Bulls were able to stop the Clippers on the road. Paul George had a double-double on the game, 27 points and 11 rebounds, but then that just wasn't enough. And so the 7-game winning run is over, and the Bulls, who happens to be one of the best teams this season.
Yep.
And NBA,
one of the best, one of the most surprising team of the season, because no one saw this stats coming at all. The best start since the 1996-1997 season. We're not saying they're going to go and win the title, but they've started very well, and they seem to definitely watch out for going forward. And yeah, DeMar DeRozan, what a signing he's been so far for the Bulls. The Bulls look different, but they look great together. Zach LaVine as well, too. Very impressive in the manner they won this game, because they lost their center, Nikola Vucevic, was lost earlier, a couple of days ago, but they managed to still get the job done over the Clippers. Alex Caruso as well, to bring in a lot of energy, a lot of intangibles to the roster for the Chicago Bulls. So that's how it ended, 100-90 in favor of the Chicago Bulls. When we come back from this break, we're going to get to listen to their star player, small forward, DeMar DeRozan, speaking on how they were able to get the job done against the LA Clippers.
All right, let's get okay.
Respond. You got to respond if you want to be a good team, especially after getting your butt whooped like we did the other day. Not having Vooch, we got to figure it out. Nobody gonna feel sorry for us. We got to go out there, next guy up, and continue just keep fighting to figure this thing out. It was great to respond against a team that's been playing extremely well. Proud of the guys. Now we got to flush and get ready for tomorrow.
Sir? Okay. I said, all right. Six games to lose. Juego crítico. Second service. Pliško. 6-4, 6 games to 4. Lot 6, 6464.
Hey, welcome back to Channel Sport this morning. Let's take a look at the standout performers in the NBA games that were played early this morning before we leave basketball totally. Let's start with Anthony Davis of the LA Clippers imposing his will in that particular victory over the San Antonio Spurs. 34 points, 15 rebounds, and 6 assists. This performance coming a day or a couple of days after saying the LA Lakers are not playing like a championship side. So he had to go out there and really step up to the plate. Next up is DeMar DeRozan, 35.7 rebounds and 5 assists for the Chicago Bulls in the victory over the LA Clippers. Also stepping up big time is KD, 33 points, 8 rebounds and 4 assists in the victory for the Brooklyn Nets over his former side, OKC Thunder. All right, so that's it, standout performers for the night in the NBA games that were played. Onyebuchi Nwachukwu has now joined us. Together, we're going to be talking about doing a review of what went down in Tangier, Morocco on Saturday, where the Super Eagles of Nigeria were able to get a 2-0 victory over Liberia, and the ramifications of that, as well as the game that we're playing against Cape Verde tomorrow. Onyebuchi, good morning. Always great to have you on the show.
Good morning, Cecilia. Good morning, Tayo.
Good morning.
They say ladies first.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Fair enough, right?
All right, Cecilia, so we should just quickly get updates from the ATP finals, right?
Quickly get it out of the way and then go to the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Now, we'll start with what happened to Daniil Medvedev. Of course, you know, he's a big boy. He's defending champ. But then this one, he had to struggle a little bit, dropping his set before he was able to take out Hubert Hurkacz in 3 sets. So for him right now, it's in 4 sets. For him right now, where you say he's in the pole position, but then dropping his set in the opening game, it's not good enough for the defending champ.
Cecilia is playing against a very good player who's had perhaps the best season of his career, Hubert Hurkacz.
But we're talking about word number 2 right here.
It doesn't matter. You've got to earn your wins, and that's exactly what Daniil Medvedev had to do. Lost the first set 6-7, but came back to win the second set 6-3. And the decider 6-4. So in the end, was still a pretty decent performance coming from the Russian. Is now 1-0 in the red group in this particular game. Did not face a break point in the match and won 83% of his first serve points. So 15 aces as well too. And the service games really gave Hurkacz an opportunity to step into the courts. Medvedev is in great form. He's won 23 of his past 26 matches. So winning start to the tight defense of Daniil Medvedev. Let's go on quickly to the other player, the other match in the red group. This time around involving Alexander Zverev and Matteo Berrettini. Cecilia, unfortunate for the Italian injuries, forcing him to retire in that game.
Yeah, it wasn't a great one for Berrettini at all. Although Zverev was leading at 7-6, he won the first set 7-6, and the second set it was 1 game up when Berrettini pulled out injured. At the end of the day, Zverev awarded a win in his first game, but Berrettini right now may not be part of this ATP Tour finals again simply because of that injury he suffered while he was playing against Zverev. So 1 win for Zverev. Berrettini, well, a sad way that he may just be leaving the ATP finals.
Yeah, not good at all for the Italian. Injury to his left oblique. That's what happened in that game against Alexander Zverev. The first set was very, very keenly contested. 7-6 ended in favor of Zverev. That particular set took 79 minutes to conclude. So it tells you how tough it was between these two players. Timeouts was taken. Unfortunately, Berrettini could not recover, had to retire, and that was the end of the match for the Italians. So Zverev is also 1-0 in the red group, and is going to take on Daniil Medvedev on Tuesday in the second match. Very emotional since they're coming from Matteo Berrettini, who's had a very good season as well too. All right, so that's it for our tennis. Let's get on with the show quickly. Let's go to Formula One and tell you about the incredible race that we saw at Sao Paulo Grand Prix. We saw one of the comebacks of the year, or in Formula One history, involving Lewis Hamilton starting 10th on the grid, but somehow found a way, Cecilia, to recover and win the race ahead of Max Verstappen. And as a result of that, now the title lead has now been cut from 21 to 14. We've got a title race on our hands, Cecilia.
That's what we always wanted for Lewis Hamilton.
Exactly.
I mean, when he got that qualification, I mean, when he didn't get it on Saturday, when he was disqualified and all, he needed to start from 10th in the sprint. And then the question is, I mean, if this race, will he just go to Max Verstappen? Max Verstappen take advantage of that. Valtteri Bottas, of course, was on pole. But then Max Verstappen, when he started racing, you know how good he can be. So at the end of the day, I mean, Hamilton somehow, I don't know how he managed to do it. I mean, that's why he's one of the greatest of all time, I mean, if not the greatest of all time, because of his performance on Brazil. And he said this is one of his competitive races ever done. At the point he was second, then I felt, okay, maybe that's how it's going to end. But somehow I was able to push Max Verstappen all the way for him to be able to win it. Well, let's take a listen to all the winners. I mean, talking about Max Verstappen finished second and also Valtteri Bottas finished third.
He was not looking at all.
14 points now just separates Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton with 3 races to go. We go next to Qatar, and promises a very exciting game between the 2 title challenges. That's it for Formula One now. It's time to talk about the Super Eagles of Nigeria and what happened over the weekend in Liberia. 2-0 ended. Goals from Victor Osimhen and the captain, Ahmed Musa, giving Nigeria all 3 points in that game. And even though, or despite the fact that it was a win for Nigeria, for whatever reason, Nigerians are not satisfied, even though...
Because we watched the game.
And what happened? They won.
They won.
Yeah.
Well, it was a crazy win, man. You watched the game. It was painful to watch because... I'm sorry, because, I mean, we've been talking about any time they play in Benin or in Lagos or somewhere else, there's always the issue, oh, bad pitch.
Not good enough.
Wasn't good enough.
Yeah.
And then you're in Morocco. Good pitch,
no
smooth
excuses.
football. I should see crosses. I should see smooth passes. I should see something...
Intricate play.
You know, intricate play. Something I can, like, you know, I need to be wild, jump up, you know, that adrenaline pumping. I was just watching Super Eagles game, okay, laid back. All right, let's just see what's going to happen here. That's how I watched the game.
Well, Cecilia and Tayo, the reality is that times have changed. You know, I understand the narrative. Everybody, we have watched the Super Eagles in the past. They don't complain. You know, they go to play on terrible pitches. They get the job done. They play good football. They travel under very terrible conditions, and they still grind out, you know, very good performances. And this team has not been consistent. That's the truth. And you don't blame fans. You don't blame people who are not satisfied with what they, you know, offer each time they play. But the reality is that it was an accomplished performance. 2-0. Get the job done.
Yeah.
You know, then you go to the final group game against Cape Verde and see if you can get a result. But I also want to think that the chief coach, Gernot Rohr's performance, body language all the time, his disposition, his interviews, he's always complaining about the pitch, complaining about the conditions. But like Cecilia said, you don't have any excuse. Morocco is very close to Europe, so the players all didn't travel long distances. You have very large pitch to train on.
We can see that.
The pitch is good and all that, and yet you didn't get a good performance. Something fundamentally is wrong with the Super Eagles. When you look at some of the reports that are very objective, we lacked cutting edge. Purely, the 2 goals came purely from the horrendous blunder of the goalkeeper, De Souza, of Liberia. I mean, how on earth could you bundle players in the vital area in such a manner? It was reckless.
Yeah.
You know, so you can imagine what would have happened if we didn't get those two penalties.
Those 2 penalties, yeah.
So apart from the chance that Osimhen got and he blew it,
over the
bar. He played it over the bar. We really didn't trouble
create
Liberia.
more chances at all.
They were in the game until the last penalty, the second penalty. So we didn't trouble. So this should worry the technical crew. This should worry every, you know, designing follower of the Super Eagles. Why? Because if we don't get a very good result, even though we may qualify for the final playoff, if we drop out of the first 5, then we are in trouble.
Anyways.
Austin.
Austin,
yeah. Let's go back to London, and talk to Austin briefly. I mean, Austin, I know you watched that game. You saw what happened. As Onyewuchi mentioned that if we didn't get those penalties, we'd have been in trouble because South Africa are not going to the World Cup right now because of a controversial penalty that was awarded to Ghana. Andrea, you of course converted that. And that's why you have Ghana going in. Now for Nigeria, you watched the game. What do you think? Because coach has already admitted that yes, they're under pressure to beat Cape Verde. Like under pressure to beat Cape Verde.
First, let's thank Liberia for bringing a wrestler to a football match as a goalkeeper. That was a good one for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Yeah. If not for the goalkeeping, blunders, then we would have been given a different analysis. So, guys, we've gotten to the stage now where if the Super Eagles wins, we should just take it, because time and time again, we've seen it that this team, they still struggle to find their rhythm, get a pattern, show us a particular style, play entertaining football. But a win is a win. Onyewuchi, Cecilia, and Tayo, isn't this win better than what we saw with the defeat in Lagos to Central African Republic?
True.
So let's just take this win, keep it as positives, and let's see ways that this team can, go on to keep winning. Because as it is now, they just need to keep winning to make it to Qatar 2022. That's all they need. So at this stage, who really cares about what the sort of style they play or the sort of game that they play, as long as they get the 3 points? The good thing is the coaches admitted that the team is under pressure. What sort of pressure? Where is it coming from? What is the technical crew doing about this? What can the NFF do? Where can the sports ministry come in? So if there's pressure, deal with the pressure, because football is not just a sport in Nigeria, it is a religion. And that's why whenever the Super Eagles of Nigeria are playing, Nigerians just want to come out, have a good time, because football brings the country together. So let's hope that in Lagos against Cape Verde, this team will improve, shows the sort of quality that we want to see. Show that, yes, they are truly one of the best teams in Africa, because we're getting into the final qualifying round, which is very crucial. So the sort of result they get tomorrow against Cape Verde will do a lot of good for the next round.
Indeed.
Let's listen to the coach now. If we have the coach, Coach Gernot Rohr talking, ahead of the game against Cape Verde. I mean, it's going to be a very tough one. They just need a point to get through in that game.
The game was not easy for us, and we knew before that this match, like the first match already in Lagos, we scored in the first half, leading 2-0, was even more difficult today. Despite the good pitch, we tried to play our quick football with a few touches and going vertical forward, but the opponent was well organized and made a big fight. So we had also to fight and to accept the duel, and in the air and on the ground. And it was not easy. And we got these 2 penalties, but we were not able to score a goal in the playing football. Only on these 2, I think it were clear penalties, but I would prefer to score normal goals. We could not. I hope we can do it in 3 days in the final game. I think that the comeback of some players like Ndidi, like Iwobi, who didn't play the last time, is a good thing for us. We have to make a result, not to lose the final game. But we are at home. It's good to have pressure for my players. If they believe it's easy, if they believe that it's done, it's always difficult. So it's good to play with pressure, so they will be able to honor this situation, to handle it like we did all the time. We had 1 accident, we lost 1 match, we won 4. So now the final match, we want to win it also.
Yeah, final match, you're definitely going to win it also, because a draw will not be acceptable. Yes, we need a draw to get past to get into the final round. But then when you're playing Cape Verde and you're playing in Lagos, and after that loss to Central African Republic, I believe the Super Eagles of Nigeria want to score as many goals as they can so that the Gauchos will be happy having them again.
As many goals as they can.
As they can.
Anyways, Cape Verde need all 3 points in that game. So they're coming here to not literally die, but you get my point. It's going to be a very tough one.
Fight to finish.
We still have tomorrow to do a comprehensive preview of that game, Cecilia. So let's leave the Super Eagles out for now and go to and talk a bit of chess.
Yes.
Actually, talk a lot of chess.
A lot of chess, right? So we've got the champions from all the categories right here.
Yes. The National Chess Championships are ending after 7 days of action at the Lekki Orchid Chess Club just yesterday. And for the men's title, it was International Master Balogun Oluwafemi, who was a new Nigerian champion for the 2021-2022 season after winning the event unbeaten with a score of 7 points out of a possible 9. FIDE Master Osunfoye Abimbola finished second with a total of 6 points out of a possible 9. His only loss of the tournament was to FIDE Master Akitonye Abdulrahim. FIDE Master Oraogo Chukunonso placed third on the tie-break after sharing the same points, 5/9, with FIDE Master Akitoye Abdulrahim. Of course, Balogun Oluwafemi is a very delighted man this morning after receiving the huge prize money as well as that shiny trophy. Let's take a listen to him.
It feels awesome. I feel super excited. This feels great. This feels like a dream come true, and I'm so happy. Well, I've been playing chess for over a decade now, and basically the economy as a whole has been a challenge, having to shuffle chess and life. So it's not been easy, but with hard work and with God by my side, this became a reality. And for that, I'm very grateful. Each and every round has been was difficult and very tough because you cannot have the top 10 Nigerian chess players in the same room and not expect to have a tough battle. So every challenge was worth it. And every player taken down on my path to being a national champion were true champions in their own right.
That's Balogun Oluwafemi beating 9 other contestants to the men's title. Oh, yeah, you're nodding your head. Why are you doing that?
Yeah.
I mean, chess is a very brainy sport.
Yeah, very cerebral. You know, my son actually plays chess.
Oh,
so
that's lovely.
So sometimes I follow his development. It's good to see that there's a new champion. And Tayo, sometimes I think the media has been quite unfair to some of these. I don't want to call them lesser sports, but they have brought us glory. I mean, there was the former champion went all the way to the world, and he brought glory to this country. And up till now, nothing has been done to even celebrate them. So we need to also show a lot of recognition to the chess, to other sports who are doing well. And they have gone about the way they run the federation very quietly, and they have achieved a lot of things. Just yesterday, I was reading about our T20 squad that went to Rwanda. And they were the first team, that's the Nigerian Cricket Federation, they was the first team to go to Rwanda, they settled in, and this is the way to go. We need to publicize, we need to, show that some of these lesser sports are doing well for the athletes.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy for what the Chess Federation is doing.
Fantastic.
And I hope from there, this player, Oluwafemi Balogun, can also go out and conquer the world.
Indeed. Why not? Why not? We're seeing the women's champion, Obiyoyo. Perpetual, that's her name, winning the women's title with a score of 7 out of 9 points. And she's also very, very happy to emerge as a women's champion for chess in the country.
I've been playing chess now for about 5 years. So far, the challenges has just been me pushing myself to win the championship. Last year I was the first runner-up, but this year, I wouldn't say it's all by my power or strength, but thanks to God, I was able to pull it in and win the championship this year with enough training and hard work. I'm definitely looking forward to it because this this year's edition was one of the best so far. So I'm looking forward to next year's edition. And hopefully I should be able to try my best.
Welcome back to Channel Sport. This morning we're still reviewing the National Chess Championships that was concluded over the weekend with Balogun Oluwafemi and Ogbiyoyo, perpetual emerging champions of that competition. Let's now go and take a listen now to the officials of the competition. I'm talking about the president of the National Chess Federation, speaking on the successful hosting of the championship. We're going to get to listen to some of the organizers as well.
First and foremost, is successful. We've had public-private partnership in the past, but this one is unique. Unique in the sense that both in terms of satisfaction, meeting the aspiration of the players and the organizers, and then the happiness generally of the players. It has made standard of the International Chess Federation. It's a rated event, and I think we are quite happy because to the best of my knowledge, activity is what the chess players need, and they have it. And this is of the highest quality. I commend the sponsors, and I wish they come in and do more.
Well, it's been so great because if you go by the feedback we've been getting from players and from the people who are chess lovers, it has been enjoyed the best chess tournament this country has ever had in terms of ambience of the place, in terms of the quality of accommodation given to workers, in terms of the quality of sponsorship, in terms of the star prizes, and in every ramification, it enjoyed the very, very best we've had ever. And it meets with the international standard.
Officials coming from the Nigeria National Chess Championships that was concluded over the weekend. Austin is still with us. Let's not forget, Austin, your thoughts on chess and the new champions.
I'm super proud of the Nigeria Chess Federation. Tayo, this is a federation that is showing commitment, determination to develop the sport, and we can see it. It is what you sow, you reap. You see, put it side by side with basketball, you understand that because of maybe the money that some people want to make and selfish ambition, basketball is struggling. Small chess doing so well, and it didn't just start today. Remember, Channels Television, we've been covering chess, you know, actively for about 10 years now. They have been busy. They take chess to the schools. They play chess at the club level. They get kids involved. And I'm not surprised looking at those pictures. I'm just saying these guys are beginning to reap the reward of hard work and smart work. And I'm so happy that we saw young talents there, not just playing chess for, you know, being for competition's sake. They're also winning prize money, which is also good. And for the federation, every competition is a step towards learning how to be better. So let's say kudos to whoever is doing well this morning. So well done to the Nigeria Chess Federation. Keep the momentum going. And for those guys who are not doing well, look at small chess and learn from them. Thank you.
There's no money to fight for. So maybe that's the reason. Okay.
Cecilia, so the chess championships, there are other categories as well too, but we will come to that tomorrow on the show. The juniors, the masters, and the opens as well. So tomorrow, stick with us on Sport This Morning for all of the details concerning the winners of those events. Cecilia, let's wrap up the show, but before then...
We do that. Let's take a look at the papers, obviously, and during the papers we'll be talking about some of the teams that have qualified for the World Cup, especially having a team like Portugal that will have to go through playoffs to qualify for the World Cup. I'm talking about Portugal here, former European champions, and they have Cristiano Ronaldo, right? But they were beaten 2-1 by Serbia.
Yeah, this is an example. Let's start with Sporting Life.
Start with the Sporting Life, right?
Yeah,
okay.
Right there.
Okay, that's his paper.
Of course. It's only right.
It's only right to start with this one. And there you have it, Nigeria versus Cape Verde. Rohr says, Eagles can't afford to lose.
Of course not.
It's natural.
To lose, they're out.
Well,
that's it. So
then he's likely going to be out of job.
But let not say that. We can't even say that, right? We can't say that. Let's not say that. Okay. Our fans want Ndidi at Manchester United.
Well,
We're looking at Sporting Life, right?
Some Old Trafford fans are calling, for Wilfred Ndidi, and rightfully so. There have been complaints at the back line, especially Harry Maguire, who is so highly rated, has been quite disastrous, and they require a shield. And a player like Wilfred Ndidi, who is doing so well in that position for Leicester City, will naturally fit in at Manchester United. I think so too. I want to believe that.
Yeah, I mean, because the story has been out there for a while now, so we'll see. Yeah, if anything comes out of it. Still on Sporting Life, Cecilia.
Yeah, I wanted to go to Austin. I'm asking him about this one. Austin, fans wanting Ndidi at Manchester United. I mean, which you just mentioned that, it's going to be a good one because they want that shield at the back. I mean, you're in London there. Yes, I know you're in Manchester, but then at least it's kind of close. The fans are calling for this. Are they the ones in the UK or Nigerian fans are trying to get it? Or maybe you feel that there will be someone that coming to United and be able to maybe it kind of protect the back four with them having Harry Maguire, who always not composed most times.
Yeah, Ndidi has shown that he's a top player. He's shown quality. He's been consistent in the last 2 seasons, at Leicester City. And so whenever the season ends and fans are talking about players who were outstanding, who made, remarkable performances, Wilfred Ndidi pops up. And so, yeah, I think he has what it takes to play in any of the top teams in the English Premier League, but it's not up to the fans. It's up to the player and Leicester City at the moment because he's tied to contract. So let's see how that one will go. But still in the English Premier League, guys, Norwich City have confirmed Dean Smith as the new manager on a 2.5-year deal. So he's left Aston Villa and now he's gone to Norwich City.
Okay, Dean Smith. All the best.
Interesting. Get sacked, get hired, fired, hired.
It's a
That's just
coach,
the way,
right?
the nature of the coaching business, right?
Yeah, you get fired, you get hired. So some of the best coaches have been sacked in the past. So
they get another job.
That's the way it goes.
I think it's a good deal for them because if you check what he did, with Aston Villa, he took them to 11th last season, right? That was a fair deal. And
in the past, of
course.
In the past.
That was just last season here.
In the past.
Yeah, it's past.
It's just last season.
But they lost,
and this
they
season,
lost successive
5
games.
in a row.
Yeah, 5 in a row.
We understand that, but I'm thinking if this coach was able to come in and steady the ship for you and stay in the Premier League and not just staying, but finishing 11th, and then the next season, yes, he's got injury, the star player is out. I mean, you sold your star player, and then you having some injuries, and then you're firing the coach because he lost 5 in a row. But I think Norwich will definitely benefit.
Then you should have told the line Conte did. Well, if you are selling my star players, you are weaking me, then I go. Very simple.
Dean Smith is a
no
small
excuses,
coach.
really.
Dean Smith is obviously not contained. It's just like, I mean, the difference is it's so obvious. It's not the same.
All right.
Okay, the final one on Sporting Life, we have all the teams that have qualified for Qatar 2020 World Cup so far. You have Germany, Denmark, Brazil, France, Belgium, Croatia, Spain, and Serbia. And, of course, for Africa, you have Senegal, Morocco, Mali, Egypt, DR Congo, and, of course, Ghana. And by Tuesday, Super Eagles will be joining that.
Into the final round.
Into the final round. Yeah, into the final. That's the African countries, final round. Then the other one was
hopefully.
Hopefully. Yeah. All right, let's go to Complete Sport. That's our last paper for review. Newcastle interested in 25 million euro rated Umar Sadiq. Of course, Newcastle will be linked with a lot of players now with the new money that they have. We will fight with desire to shock Nigeria. That's according to the coach of Cape Verde, Babu. Still on the Cape Verde match, John Ogu is talking, says beautiful football doesn't win games. I mean, I guess that's a reaction to the reaction coming from Nigerians not being satisfied with the manner in which the Eagles are winning the matches.
He actually posted something on Twitter.
What?
John Ogu.
Yeah.
So he asked for it. He posted something on Twitter asking Nigerians, to support the Eagles, that it doesn't matter how they got the result. So people are now saying, how can a player, an international, not want to see good football? So it was like a banter between him and his followers on Twitter.
Interesting. Okay, I guess we're going to have to leave it at that, Cecilia. It doesn't really matter how you win.
But the most important thing is that there's a W, right?
Yeah.
Austin.
Exactly.
Well, thank you so much for joining us this morning from our London studios.
Thank you so much, guys. Always a delight.
Hey, Chief. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much. Always a pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you for watching as well. Enjoy the rest of your day. I am Taya Salam.
I'm Cecilia Mogbe. Have a great day.